Hello there, fellow city builders. My name is Alaydriem, and welcome to City Skylines 2. Yes, we are going back to our roots on this channel, and we are starting a brand new city builder game, no longer in Infraspace, but now in City Skylines 2, which hopefully should now be a whole lot less buggy and actually playable, and I can actually get recorded content out of it. So we're going to go ahead and start a new game. I have a custom map here called Thunder River, which looks like we have a nice pretty bay and a couple of rivers that looks very, very interesting rather than the default maps. First things first, obviously we're going to pause and take a beautiful look at the scenery that now surrounds us. Of course, it is raining. I hate rain in video games. Like, why have rain in video games? It is so unnecessary. So this is our new city, Lostwithiel. That's the name that we're going with. We have a lot of opportunity here. We have a nice, beautiful bay that we can expand into. We have ourselves roads. We have ourselves trains, which, let's be honest, that's why we're all here, because we missed out that on Infraspace. And more importantly, we have a beautiful city tile to start with. Now, before we get started, there are a couple goals I want to specify, because I'm going to fall into this trap eventually, probably in the first episode, but I'm going to try to make it out of this first episode by one, building a city that doesn't require us to take on $1 million of debt immediately, and building a city that has all of the essential basic services up and running. So to go ahead and get started, we're going to first probably upgrade these roads, because these roads are just, it's just terrible. Everything about this road existing is terrible. Actually, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to boop. Power is going to be the first thing. We're going to try to keep our city clean. And I think the easiest way to do that is by finding a tile over here that can give us some megawatts. We will have to relocate this at some point, and I'm going to be okay with that. But I think if we get started with, say, 2 or 3 of these electrical windmills, wind turbines, I think we should be more than sufficient. I am going to upgrade them right away, because we're going to need the extra power. And it's going to help us get to, like, level 1 real quick, which will get us a lot of extra money. Look at this. We might even be able to get to level 1 without actually needing to deal with anything. So as we are getting started here, I think there's a couple things that I want to do right away. First and foremost, I want to take advantage of basically building along the banks right here. And to do that, I'm going to build a road that is going to go right along the edge here, and we're going to take advantage of one of the mods that I have installed that will allow us to very easily create keys. So starting off, this is where our key system is going to be as soon as we have access to the key tool, which is underneath one of these thingies over here. It's one of these things. We'll go ahead and landscape this in, widen the river a little bit, and then build that out. And I think what we need to do next is build out the layout for the rest of our city. I like to plan ahead, because if I don't plan ahead, then everything kind of turns into a massive disaster, which I really don't want to happen in this game. So here is what my plan is. Obviously, I want this area over here to be kind of more of the city. We can make this more of like a downtown area over here, and then have this kind of sprawl out into the suburbs. But I think having more of the underlying infrastructure for any of our large offices, buildings, and whatnot over here would be great. And then having some of our more residential areas, which is what our city is going to start as over here in this area. So I think what I'm going to do is create a road that runs parallel to this, and that will be our main city that we have right there, where we have all of our main infrastructure. And then I think what I want to do is have some smaller roads feeding basically into this, and then we can build out where our residential areas are going to start off in. I think the big thing that we want to do is bring in this road from somewhere over here. We think we can probably just bring this in as a straight line. And what I would really like to do is have kind of like a loop area. So if if we think about where we want our kind of education centers, which is going to be the beating heart of our city, I think what I would like to do is have maybe a high school over here, elementary school over here, and then we can have this be more of an education-y district area, and then some suburb areas over here. But to do that, we need to think about what our roads look like. So we're going to have a road that probably comes off from here. Then we'll have another road that maybe winds off in this direction. It's an ugly circle, but I think it will check out. Here, can we maybe just clean this up just a smidgen more, I hope? Let's see if we can get this circle just a little bit right. It's very important that we have very clean circles. Why? I don't know. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. This will make a good roundabout for a school if we have, you know, 2 school areas over here. We can obviously have some traffic peeling in from here. That'll be kind of our school areas where we put our schools. We'll deal with the fact that there's really nothing pretty over there in terms of roundabouts, but that'll help traffic get in and out. And then I think that we can start working on what we want our suburb layouts to look like. And I think what we're going to do is just stick with maybe some relatively small types of city layouts. I'm not going to try to do anything too incredibly complicated and horrendous, but I am going to try to make something that hopefully looks a little bit prettier. All right, so we have our initial starting city layout now planned. We just need to pop in our groundwater pumping station, which we can fit just about anywhere. I think I'm just going to put it over here in one of these corners. We're going to do the necessary upgrades and, well, upgrade it. Next, we're going to pop in ourselves one of these hospitals. I think what the best place to do for a hospital is place it basically on one of these main roads over here. I'm thinking that this is going to be more of, you know, a service center, and then the rest of this can be residential. So we have this over here, say, maybe not on the main road, but very close to the main road. I think we'd be very, very happy with how that turned out. And then we can deal with some garbage later. Now, all we need to do is start painting in where we want our residential areas to be. I think what I'm going to do is just start with some really small suburby type places. So we'll let people fill in this area around here. And then we'll also paint in some of this area right over here. Yes, I have moved the cemetery because I didn't like where it was. And just to keep things a little bit spicy and interesting, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make it so that the exits to these places have little shops next to them. Because I think having shops near where you live rather than needing to go down a massive road in order to go shopping would make a very, very big difference. Especially if there are no, you know, little shops dotted here and there that people can go to, pick up whatever they need. Rather than needing to go all the way around the entire map to get what they need, they can just, you know, live where they work. It's a whole new way of thinking. I know it's pretty radical. We're going to go ahead and press play and watch the buildings fly up. And hopefully very soon here, we will unlock our next upgrade. Now, of course, everyone is complaining that they have absolutely no place to dump their sewage. That is perfectly okay, though, because we're going to just deal with that. There we go. Now we got our upgrade. So let's go over here to development. We are going to go down to our wastewater treatment plant, unlock that so that we actually have somewhere for people to, you know, take care of their business. And then we have one extra point that we can spend on, let's just say, probably a crematorium so that we don't have a bunch of dead bodies piling up. So first things first, go ahead and get our wastewater treatment plant. We're going to go ahead and just pop this right over here next to this other building. And I think what I may actually do is relocate this. Bam. And there we go. We are now able to process wastewater. Everyone should be really, really happy, which they are. And just to make our lives a whole lot simpler, we're going to also pop in a crematorium over here so that, well, we don't have infinitely dead people piling up. And we have just upgraded to a large village. And look, we have hardly done really much of anything. So we're able to take advantage of a fire station and also police services. I am going to unlock the welfare office because that will help a little bit. But it's time to get in our schools, which is really the most important part. We're going to place our elementary school right over here. Place a high school right over here. With what money we have left over, we are going to pop in all of the essential services that our school needs to make everyone happy. If we have enough room to fit in the stadium, which doesn't look like we actually do, we will tell people that, sorry, high school football in America is apparently more important than where you live. This is actually how I think things work in real life too. Sorry, I know you just bought all this land, but unfortunately it's been declared completely useless. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some other essential services into the mix. We want to have a firehouse so that people, you know, don't burn their houses down and their livelihoods and lose everything. We'll place that right here. And then we'll place also a police department, which we no longer have any money for, somewhere close to that. So we are running low on money. We're going to go ahead and let this town build up. And hopefully we will start raking in some money very soon. Now, we do have a couple of tiles that we have available for us. We need to start thinking about garbage disposal. So how much do these tiles cost? How many do we have? We have 12 tiles. I'm going to go ahead and unlock these 3 tiles right over here. Maybe also these 3. And then I'm going to also want to start thinking about how we can expand up to here, because we do have wind that comes up there, and it's going to be very, very important for us to have things up here that are more industrial, because if things are up here that are industrial, we can then take care of all the pollution kind of going out over the ocean, which is going to just be really regrettable. We're just going to have to kind of deal with it. So we've got a couple more tiles that we can buy. Just going to go ahead and I guess not purchase those because I can't afford it. Oh, we're actually broke because we're burning through money faster than you can say we're burning through money. Name of the game right now is just to keep ahead of anything on the demand curve that we have, which actually seems to be balancing itself quite nicely. One thing that we should probably do, though, is we should probably go into our tax and just bump up the tax a little bit, and maybe also increase our service fee. All right, so we are now a grand village. We're going to go to our progression panel here, have a couple of skill points to unlock. If I'm looking through here right now, we want to take better care of our roads. That'll also give us a couple of other things. We want to, what else would be really, really good? Park maintenance, I think, is an easy upgrade. And we will get to trains. Maybe we get trains. Yeah, let's go ahead and get trains. We'll start with trains. We are very much not making money, but we can fix that hopefully very, very soon. So first, what we're going to do, we are going to buy these tiles right over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to where this highway is. We are going to now build a road directly over this highway. And then we're going to peel off these little feeder roads here. We probably should have bought ourselves the highway tiles. And for our industry area, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to make a really big grid. And that's probably good enough for now that we can then paint in pretty much all this with industry. Now, if you notice over here, the reason why we're doing this is because all the wind goes this way. You see all those arrows? I want all the wind to be flowing away, and I want them away from all of our water. So we're going to go ahead and build our industry over here. We're going to just paint this entire area and do something very, very important, which is connect up our pipe system up. So now this entire area over here has all of the water that they need, and then we can do the same thing with electricity. Next thing that we need to do is we have a ton of demand for high residential. If we grab ourselves some offices, we can make an office district. Let's say, see, where would we like an office district? We can make these, this area right back here, kind of offices. I think maybe right over here would be a good spot. The high density housing really fills up very, very quickly, so I don't want to put a whole lot, because you can see right there, they're going to build that, and then it's just going to go plummet. Yeah, almost immediately. So our goal right now is to figure out how to turn a profit. That is our big goal that we have. If we can figure out how to make money with what we have, we will be in a very, very, very good spot. Now, there are a couple of other ways that we could make money, but first and foremost, we need to take care of some of the more essential things that we need to do, which is making sure that we have garbage disposal taken care of everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and buy these 2 tiles, double check our water situation, make sure that we don't have, yeah, there's no water over here. I'm going to place in a landfill, and yeah, we don't have enough for a recycling center right yet. So sorry, you're not going to be able to recycle. All right, so we're going to have this be where we have all of our garbage that comes in and out of our city. Eventually, we'll put an incineration plant over here that will allow us to basically burn all this garbage. Then we can recycle over here as well. Now, here is where some of the pretties come in. So you can see right here, we have keys. And what we can do is we can upgrade this outer road to be a key. We can then take our landscaping tool over here just by taking, say, this level right here. There we go. Now we have some nice beachfront roads. Now, as you can see here, all this tool does is just makes it a little bit easier to build keys. These are nice, super duper pretty, and I didn't have to spend a whole lot of time doing it, which is really the main advantage to having this mod installed. So we're going to go ahead and let our city start building out just a little bit more now that things are in a little bit better spot. Oh, we need to come over here. This place has no power, no electricity. How did that go wrong? Oh, it's because this pipe doesn't connect. Here, let's go ahead and connect this pipe. But if I'm thinking about over here, there's a couple other things that we can do to make money, and the biggest thing is adding in some of these farms. So we had a farm and then a grain farm, and I think over here, if you saw, there was quite a bit of, area over here that we could take advantage of for farming. And I have no problem with making certain areas of my city basically be a giant farm district. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in those over here too. All right, so we have our 2 farms built, and that should help bring in a little extra income for us. Hopefully that number goes down from -16. We were at -12, but we need to get that number down. And we have now leveled up to a tiny town. So if we open up our progression panel over here, we now have some mixed housing, vegetable farming, and communications with a post office as well as some other extra things that we have going on right here. So what I think I'm going to do is we're going to fix a couple of things. We're going to definitely get highways taken care of. We're going to unlock roundabouts too, and probably also buy some parking. We're now going to come over here and fix our disgusting highway situation that we have. We now have these off ramps, and we can just replace these ugly roads that we built. And if we can just convince people that they should not be making like right turns right here, yeah, that would be very great. And we're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to fix this off ramp situation. And we can do some other minor traffic management over here because we don't need stoplights at I think every one of these. Yeah, there we go. We should be a whole lot better now. Should be a whole lot better now. And we're only a tiny town, so hopefully we can start bringing in some additional revenue by some of the changes that we made. Hopefully this clears out some of the traffic we have along the roads. If not, we're going to bring in $50 per car, so not exactly the worst thing in the world. Hopefully that helps with income just a little bit, although it doesn't seem to. Maybe that's because we had to hire a bunch of police and we have to pay their pensions. I know, very, very unexpected. Check out our parking situation. People are basically ignoring the fact that they have to pay $50 to park on the streets. So, okay, I guess. And we have now upgraded to a boom town. We are a profitable boom town at that, just by a little bit. So first things first, development. We're going to go over here to trains. And the biggest complaints that people have right now is that they do not have access to entertainment, which we can provide via some sports. Do not have access to public transit, which I think we can also solve. And are, I don't know, not super happy about everything. Let's just check here real quick about what our water situation looks like. We don't have water over here that we need to worry about. At least I don't think. So what I think we're going to do, because we are going to start running out of electricity here very, very soon, is since we are basically profitable, I'm going to go ahead and buy an incineration plant. This will help us with electricity. Unfortunately, it's going to spend absolutely every penny that we have. That will help us, because this just produces, it just produces so much stuff. But if we have this running, then, we'll actually be able to collect a few things. Then we need to start worrying about what this situation is while we still have some pennies to our name. So we're going to turn off crosswalks, because I think that's a major problem with this. We're going to also, upgrade you, and then relocate you just a smidgen out of the way. And with this, we're going to create some additional roads coming in and out of our city, because right now parking is starting, or just driving is starting to become a major issue because we don't have a really good public transit network. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to add a little bridge right here, and then we're going to add a bridge right here. And then for each of these, we're going to have access on and then access off. Then we can take this and connect that. We'll need to do the same thing probably over here. We can connect that together. And then if we do the same thing over here, we just clean this up. We can connect this up to here. And then we can connect this up to here. Now we have some extra ways into our city. We can pay off just a little bit of this loan. Drop that down to a nice lofty 4% interest rate. And hopefully that helps with the traffic coming in and out of our city just a little bit. But hopefully people will see that there's other ways in and out of the city, and then they can figure kind of out how they want to get in through that. There's also other ways out of our city, and there's other ways for our garbage trucks to also get back in, which should help things just a little bit. And you can see right here, adding in those extra ways in and out of the city, they have totally cleared up the traffic. Now, plenty of access in and out. Let's see, is there any major issues with traffic that we need to be aware of? No, not really. Obviously, the heavy spots are by the intersections. That's kind of to be expected. Nothing too terrible. And we are shooting our way all the way back up to not really owing anything. So we're doing really, really well with that, even with a little bit of 4% interest. And I'm not exactly sure what the magic sauce was, but just like that, we are now making plus $14,000 every single hour, which is a really good improvement. So I don't know what changed, but everyone seems to be really, really happy, other than the fact that there's high crime. There's 3 criminals and there's high crime. Crime is broken in this game. So strange. But we are officially making a profit. We can start paying back a little pieces of this loan as it comes in, and we will officially be out of debt, which means that we have successfully started our first city here in City Skylines 2. I know it's not much to look at, but it is a quaint, quiet little city that we have going on right here that will hopefully be the start of something super, super grand. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see even more of this, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leaving comments down in the description for all the things that I know I invariably missed, and I will see you in the next episode. Oh, we're losing money again.